tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hannibal.
What is this music?
Where have you been, my special Hannibal?
Cannibal friend. What is this? Is this music?
You're a harpsichord away from, I don't know.
Eating another day.
There it is. Welcome to the Hannibal AFTERBUZZ After Show.
Woo!
There it was. That was that the harpsichord?
I don't know what that was. That was a whole lot of nothing. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined by the lovely Julia Cearley.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Braz.
Not joined by Dua.
No Dua.
Not joined by Joe Flippo.
No Flip.
Rumor has it he's in the building. I'm not going to throw him over the bus.
Over the bus?
Or under the bus. Either. Or either.
He is in the building.
All right. But somehow he's not coming in.
No, preoccupied.
But he's too busy for us.
Yeah, whatever. He's missing out.
All right. We have arrived to the midpoint of the season, almost midpoint. We've arrived to the moment we've all been waiting for, at least me, Red Dragon.
Oh God, have I been waiting for this? Are you kidding me?
Yes, we are here. And I'm very excited to have the episode, The Great Red Dragon. It's also a departure from the titles that we've been having, all of the aperitif and digestivo, blah blah blah.
Well, we're not in Italy anymore.
No, but ever since this is the first non sort of coursed meal title.
Yeah, but I get it. This is a whole new story now. We're starting fresh. Last week seemed like quite the finale. Like we definitely stuck the nail in that coffin of Florence.
Yeah,
and here we are.
And I think it's weird because I like what they did with the Florence story, which is sort of like taking the events of Hannibal, of the book Hannibal and the movie Hannibal, and then taking them and then putting them ahead in the timeline of Red Dragon, which doesn't in the books the timeline goes Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, right? But what Bryan Fuller did, he took Hannibal and he put it before Red Dragon. That was kind of cool. You follow me on that? No.
I sort of.
All right.
Where's my homeland board?
It's all right.
I don't see my homeland board.
It's a big board. So we catch up from after the events of Florence.
Yep.
Where Hannibal surrenders.
Yep.
And he, which is not how I feel like I thought it was going to go down, but it was cool.
How did you think it was going to go down?
I don't know. I think closer to the movie where I can't remember. No, that's right. The movie Will Graham shoots him. Yes, or something, and then they apprehend him that way.
In the movie, as well as in the book, right? He stabs him, like he did at the end of season 2.
Yes,
but that also leads to his capture.
Right, exactly. And then this one,
he doesn't get away with it like he did in the TV show.
Well, the Mads Bryan Fuller Hannibal is more like I give up. Like I'm going to turn myself in so I can be close to Will. That's what it felt like.
Oh yeah, it was. No, we talked about that. Dua and I talked about this last week. That Will gave him the most perfect breakup scene of all time.
Yes.
And it was sort of like, oh, you're going to break up with me? Try it. You just freaking try it.
You're not breaking up with me.
Nope. Never going to happen, Will.
Yeah.
I will bide my time and you will be back.
So after that, we've done a time jump.
3 years.
A 3-year time jump, which was very unexpected. So now which conveniently gave us that, because we were wondering about, like, Will Graham has a wife and a kid. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, like, how are they going to do this? Like, where is it going to meet the wife? Is that going to be part of the storyline? Nope, just cut to 3 years later. Wife, and the kid's fully baked at 11. He's not his kid. You're not his kid. Boom.
Step kid.
I was like,
that was easy.
Perfect. Easy. There he is. So that was good.
I like that he's up in somewhere snowy and mountainous rather than on the beach
docks,
of the Florida Keys
yeah, the
or wherever
Keys,
he was
yeah,
before.
I agree. I like this.
It's much more fitting for brooding Will Graham.
It's the Hugh Dancy, Will Graham is definitely more of a cabin guy.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Than a Miami, than a Florida Keys guy like the Ed Norton version or the book. But I'm really happy and I loved how much. It's been really cool to see sort of Bryan Fuller and Stephen Lightfoot's version of Red Dragon, to be able to see the Tooth Fairy in the beginning. Like, I mean, what makes both Manhunter and Red Dragon so cool. Manhunter's much better than Red Dragon, but is that reveal of the Dollarhide character, the reveal of like who this guy is and his rituals and what he does. And I think in that first opening sequence that we see in this one, it was done extremely well and extremely creepy. And I don't know, man. This guy's already scaring the crap out of me. He's only on the screen for like 5 minutes.
Has he even said a word yet?
No.
No, he hasn't even said a word.
No, but he's got all these crazy yoga moves.
Oh, he's getting those lats
And
up
he's
in
like
shape.
the
That's
lats
what he's doing. Look at look at that wingspan.
And
That's right, Dragon.
He's doing, yes, he's
I
getting
should not find you attractive, but I do.
Oh, no, you should not.
Once again.
Look at that guy.
Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's not bad.
Yeah, like he's in shape.
Yeah.
As was my man Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes in the Brett Ratner movie.
Well, you have to be if you're going to be. I mean, look at the picture. Look at the Red Dragon himself. That is one big ball of muscle.
Yes, it is.
So you got to do it. Got to put in the work.
So, but that was just sort of a cool introduction, and then we see, we've gone away from the. I wonder if we'll ever see any more food close-ups, any more of the food.
We have already.
Oh, that's right. We saw the blood.
Yeah.
The blood
thing.
The blood
I forget what it
orange
was called.
dessert.
Yes.
Who's eating that dessert, by the way?
Blood and chocolate.
No.
No?
No, that's the name of my autobiography, by the way. No, got nothing. Who's eating that thing?
Chilton seems to love it. He's all about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I also like so back to the whole Tooth Fairy, the introduction of him. He's got the moves. He's got all that stuff happening. He's got the photo and the painting that he's sort of looking at and worshiping.
Yep, paying homage to.
And I'm really surprised on how, at least at first glance, how close to canon not only the book version but both cinematic versions that Bryan Fuller is staying. Like, this is pretty like right on the money. Taking some visual cues from Manhunter, taking some visual cues from Red Dragon, the Brett Ratner movie, and also some stuff from the book, and then really getting his own version of it.
Well, I think you have to set this scene because the murderer himself, all of it's very specific.
Right.
And it's very pinpointed. So in order to create this world and create this character, I think, the books are perfect. There's a reason that everyone sticks to this part because they need to build this Francis Dollarhide character just right. And then you can take some creative license to create him how you want.
Right.
But to set the scene, if you will, I think that's how you have to do it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. So we get that. We find out that he is a bad guy and he wants to kill people, like families, which is no good. Oh, we also have the return of Aaron Abrams and
yes,
and
I miss those guys.
Scott Thompson. That was really great to see them. Like
Yes.
they're coming in. They're almost like like comic relief, but they're serious.
They didn't skip a beat.
Abrams is wheeling in all the stuff, and it's like falling down. He's like, that was all great. I don't know. Great to see them. But let's see. So we have that. We find out that. That he is in fact a serial killer who's on the loose and who's killing families, and he does so at the full moon for the first family, and then for the second family it was both full moons.
Yeah, he's going with a lunar cycle.
Right, got it.
So by the time we're with Will and Jack, you have about 3 weeks until
he does it
they
again.
have it again.
So that's why he goes to Jack.
Yes.
Now in the books, it was sort of like Jack was consulting Will from time to time. But not really. No, it's not. Or was it? No, it's the same thing. Like I'm pulling in for one last case. Will, I need your eyes. You're the only one.
You're the only one who could do this.
And so.
Which I read the books and I've seen the movies, but I wasn't nearly as pissed at Jack until I was with this version.
Yeah.
Just because I'm so invested in Will Graham.
Sure.
You know, because we have such a history with him, which we don't necessarily have with the books.
No.
I'm just like, dude, Jack, leave the guy alone. Find another way.
Well, that's what's great about, we have the history because we have 2 full seasons. Like I said, he messed with the timeline. So Red Dragon is not the first thing we see in Hannibal is not Red Dragon. It's like the third thing we see. In the middle of the 3rd season, we get Red Dragon. So by that time, we're fully in. That's great. That's a great point. We're so invested in Will. We're so invested in these characters that like it means something when Jack shows up, and it means something that Will has to talk to Hannibal. And like before, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that one Hannibal guy who stabbed him or something.
I mean, doesn't Jack just like feel like an asshole?
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
He has a family. He got away. You know how deep he was.
Yeah.
You know how close to the edge he was, and that was your fault to begin with. You brought him there in the beginning, and now you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm mad. Oh, look, I'm heated.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
So, so he goes to Will, and Will's like, I don't know if I can do it anymore, I don't know if I can see it anymore, and of course we know he can. And just like in the book, his wife talks him into sort of makes it okay.
Yeah.
Like, you should do this because, like, look at the families, the next family, you know.
Not just look at the families, but also if you don't do something, you'll regret it. And will regret it as a family. And what does she say? It'll sour this place for you.
Yeah.
Meaning their happy home.
Yeah. So I don't know. The wife. I mean, like, I don't. Do you recognize the actress? I cannot recognize her.
I didn't have a moment to look her up though either.
So before we get into like just what happens story wise, I just want to comment on the visuals again. I mean, I just feel like, you know, this is consistently visually one of the most visually stunning and arresting things on television all the time. I mean, even like the stuff I never thought I wanted to see or care about, like the tattoo needle going into his back in super slow motion. You're like, what is that? Is he sewing something in his blood? And like, what is going on?
You know,
you're like,
I don't have any tattoos.
Oh, that's how it works.
But if I ever had a notion that maybe I wanted one, and I saw that scene, I'd be like, "Oh God, God no, absolutely
that's
not.
How it's permanent. That's what happens.
Atrocious."
There's that, and then also just the sort of visualizing the way they're presenting Hannibal, like sort of Hannibal in his cell. Every time you have an interaction with Hannibal, it starts off like he's free, like he's in his
memory palace,
like he's totally fine, and then they reveal to the fact that he's in jail.
But his cell isn't that shabby.
No, it's pretty fresh.
I mean,
it's the glass. He's got some he can write for a guy who killed 12
library.
For a guy who killed 12 people. I mean, are we led to believe that because he got the insanity plea that he's like because he's in Dr. Chilton's care, right? He's in the weird insane. He's in the loony bin. He's not in like he's not in like Rikers doing like, you know, hard time. He's in a mental asylum, but he's still treated as a dangerous person, but he's being studied and treated. I don't know what's happening with him.
I don't know. So when they sort of revealed his cell, when they took him out of his memory palace, which was his old office, in that first scene where he's talking to Alana, and then it's revealed that it is a cell and there's the glass between them. He has this beautiful white room with the books and the drawings and pencils and this and that. And then on her side, it looks like it's a grandiose office.
Yeah.
Because there's a desk in the corner, almost like someone's there all the time observing him.
Right.
But I don't know. It's pretty cushy.
Yeah, it's pretty cushy. And it does feel like it's what Chilton has. And we have all those headlines that sort of that catch us up. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot from Chilton, like Hannibal the Cannibal and what was a kitchen nightmare, like the headline. Kitchen nightmare, and a lot of quotes by they must have fun with those headlines. But what else? So we see that, and then we see his conversation with Chilton. I thought they'd be a little more. The fact that they're eating together, that he allows him to cook for him. Like, how does that work?
I don't know. It's a very lax institution.
Yeah, this guy's Hannibal.
Is it because they have a relationship?
I don't get it at all.
Because, I mean, they're alluding to the lies that they told in order to get him the insanity plea, which what I'm deducing is that Alana owed him
Right.
for killing Mason.
Right.
So she got him off from the death penalty.
Right.
And now Chilton's in on it because he's writing these books and he's taking creative license with it.
Yeah.
So Chilton refers to himself and Alana as in their own little cabal, their own
Right.
little secret society. But it
Interesting.
looks like he's going to blow the lid on that anyway with his paper that he wrote to the American Journal of Psychiatry.
Yeah. So I'm
I'm a little confused,
I'm a little confused as to what's happening there.
but I'm accepting it.
But so we get to see Will sort of go back after being coaxed by Jack, and we see Will go back in action in that crime scene, which was also very violent and very, bloody and violent. But we get to see finally Will do the pendulum thing. He
Missed
goes
it.
back. Yeah, the whole.
I've missed that.
Yeah, the whole legacy Will do his thing. And this is sort of commentary. I think that what's interesting is you forget. I wonder if people are responding. So the first two seasons, Hannibal worked as Hannibal, as this sort of like serialized thing of what was going on with Hannibal and everything else, and it worked its best. But at the heart of it, it was always a procedural. It was always like we had a murder to solve, and this person did this, and they'd go to Hannibal for help, and then Will would profile it, and they would solve it, and then there'd be some serialized through line with Hannibal throughout. I think in season 3. We've kind of got away from that completely, obviously, right? Because there's no crime of the week. It's just kind of like
chase. It's the chase.
It's 6 episodes of chasing Hannibal, but I don't know. I mean, I wonder if that had anything to do with the ratings drop, because I feel like
cancellation.
Yeah, because I feel like it was excellent. If you're a fan of the show and if you're invested in the style of what Hannibal is, you like this is great. But if you're a casual viewer, like, hey, what's all this Hannibal about? And you're getting all this basically exposition and visual stylings, and no crime of the week. This isn't CSI. Like that could be a problem.
No, I agree. 100% I agree. And I thought that throughout the first 6 episodes, and then
Right.
coming into this, I mean, we're conditioned to want a little more action,
Right.
and we want
We want to solve some crimes.
We want to solve some crimes.
Right.
We want to feel like we're smart and that
Right.
we're on top of this and that we know.
Right.
And the first 6 episodes of this season, we had no idea.
Right.
It was one storyline, one thing that we were following, one person, and diehard fans like we are, we're so invested in these characters, and we've been along on this character study that we were in.
Right.
But I missed it a little bit too. I missed wondering what was going to happen next and who the next killer would be and how they were going to work together. I mean, and I've never been out on this show, not for a day, but I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt a little pang. I wanted a little something more.
So it was good for that. So to that point, it was good to see Will back on the case.
Will doing what Will does best.
Will does what's best, and to see him become Dollarhide. I mean, that was pretty gruesome. By
was
the way,
awful.
I mean, it got this very, very specific, as you said, like in the book. But like, yeah, I mean, shooting the mom, and then he slashes the dad's neck, shoots the mom, goes in the other room, shoots the kid,
Pulls that one kid from underneath the bed. That was
shoots
scary.
him, comes back, does arterial spray because of the dad going all over the place. Like, that's a messy crime scene. And then he takes the mirrors and puts them on their eyes and her privates, right?
And mouths, yeah.
And mouths, and so he can see himself in them. That's pretty heavy stuff. That's heavy stuff for NBC.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around that. Like,
No, but that's the book.
that's the
That's
book.
what we
but
signed
gosh,
up for.
I know.
Come on, we've seen some awful things on this show.
We have.
Cello neck.
We've seen Cello Neck. We've seen them all. But like, I just felt like, wow, that's a lot.
Thing is, well, here's the thing. Chilton completely alludes to what I'm feeling at this moment, which is, at least in the other seasons when it was Hannibal, it was beautiful. It was art.
Right.
It was visually stunning. And this guy doesn't have that gravitas. This guy doesn't have that keen eye and the sense of artistic value in his killing.
Right.
This is shattered glass so he can watch himself, which is just upsetting and narcissistic and gross.
I wonder about. I just want to go back a little bit to that first interaction with Alana Bloom and Hannibal when they talk about the truffle. What was the thing that they have?
Truffles, the Bianchi, something yada
and like
yadas.
what? And sort of like he's betrayed by good taste. Like what dudes are there having wine? Like I don't want to beat this to the ground, but like, what the hell kind of prison is this? Like, Hannibal's got a better life than I got right now. Like, this guy's like, he's sketching, he's got fine wine, he's got gourmet food, he's got laughs. Like, I don't know.
And company.
Yeah. I don't, and he's also got access to like current newspapers. And he's following the Tooth Fairy case, and he's able to write letters and send letters off to Will and I think the Tooth Fairy ultimately. But like, I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing else. What I do want to ask you, like, what do you think the relationship with Dr. Bloom will be, like, or her relationship to the rest of the show, her relationship to Hannibal? Like, what do we? It's kind of prediction, but I just want to talk about.
Well, I predicted last week that he would murder her because he said when he was still locked up like the pig that
yes,
she made him promise that he would save Will, and he says, "I promise." And as you remember, I always keep my promises. And in the end of season 2, he had promised to kill her, and so I predicted that he was going to kill her.
Right.
So I think. Now he's institutionalized, and I believe he's under her care, right?
Yeah.
Because he asks her, how's the daily rounds of institutional life treating you?
Right.
So I'm led to assume that he's under her care. I'm a little hazy if he's under hers or Chilton's.
I think she's got to go, right? I think she's going to go.
I think, I don't think she's going to last. I think he's going to get into her head. I don't know if he's going to make her harm herself,
right,
or if he's going to physically do it himself. But she is going to die as a direct result of Hannibal.
Okay.
He promised it.
He promised it because
he always keeps his promises.
He always keeps his promises, as he said.
Or maybe it's just the bone marrow. I know that you love that I love the bone marrow. Dua told me.
That was really, like, it's the bone marrow. She's gone crazy.
Dua told me. There's no secrets here, Brass.
I said it to the world. I didn't say it to you. Yeah, the bone. Well, because she had the lesbian
I was
tryst.
kidding about the bone marrow.
I know,
sort of, but not really. I'm not sure.
I don't think you're kidding about the bone marrow. Just like
I wasn't before. Now I was.
All right, and just like the corset, the jewels in the corset. They're in the corset. I don't know.
But that's a whole other show.
It's a whole other show. Anyway, we digress.
Anyways, that's what I think about Alana and her relationship to Hannibal.
We kind of know what's going to happen with Chilton, but it's just interesting to see how this all happens, because I think that like that whole episode set up Dollarhide nicely, and it set up Will's return to the FBI nicely, and it set up we located Hannibal and where he's at and where all of our main characters are, and then at the end we had we have to see Hannibal, and so now we're going to start the famous sort of like back and forth between Hannibal and Will and helping each other out, and how this plays out through the final 6. I don't know. I mean, I'm interested to see. And I wonder if we're going to get a conclusion of the Red Dragon by episode. I think we will, right?
I think we will.
We're going to get like the full Red Dragon story and say, well, look, I mean, most people did it in 2 hours. Bryan Fuller's going to do it in 6.
Yeah.
I think that's ample time.
I dare say.
I dare say it's ample
so.
time to get through it and get to it, and then set up. What the hell? Question for you: What the heck would season 4 be? I wonder. Like, where would they go? Because they've already done Hannibal.
Because he originally had a 7-season arc, did he not?
But I think his 7-season arc ended with, he said he wanted to do, his original plan was to have season 4, the entire season 4 be Red Dragon. But now it's like
it was part Hannibal, part...
Yeah, so he took season 3 and made it part Hannibal, part Red Dragon. So maybe that was sort of like, just in case we don't get a season 4 or whatever it is. But he also said, I've got big plans for season 4. So, for a season 4.
And they don't have the rights to Silence of the Lambs, correct?
They do not. So it would. I don't know if we're going to a completely original space.
Well, Bedelia's still on the loose.
Bedelia, Dr. Yeah, that's true.
No one knows what happened to her.
That's very true. Well, this is an interesting episode because this is one of those where it's like an hour long, but what we see is a lot. We see more than we hear. Right. Yes. So I mean, really, we have like 3 key conversations. We have Hannibal and Bloom, Hannibal and Chilton, and then we have Jack and Will, and then Jack and Will and his wife.
Yes.
And then that's it, right?
Conversationally?
Yes.
Yes.
So in the rest of the episode, we're just seeing stuff.
We're seeing Dollarhide's dedication to becoming the Red Dragon.
Right.
And to bowing down to the will, to the voices in his head.
Yes. And we see his madness. I don't know. He's a very scary serial killer.
His little howl that he did, and then the growling, I can't get it out of my head.
It's terrifying.
It's stuck with me.
And so he's got the weird teeth, right? Like those aren't his teeth because he's. What's going on there?
Well, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't read the books or seen the movie. I do.
I've done them all, but I can't remember.
I can.
All right.
We'll talk about it later. Sure. I'm not going to spoil it.
All right, don't spoil it. I think that's all I got. I got nothing else, Jules. I don't know what to say. Anything you want to talk about?
What about Hannibal sort of infiltrating Will's happy little life with that letter and and his little scrapbooking section of the article about the Tooth Fairy? And I mean, what he says to him in the letter is so manipulative, knowing their relationship, when he encourages him not to go with Jack because it's dark on the other side and madness is waiting.
Right.
I was like, oh yeah, do it, go.
He's like, I like madness.
So I'm wondering why he goes. Does he go because his wife wants him to? Does he go out of his sense of duty? Does he go to prove Hannibal wrong, that madness is not waiting? Or does he go because he really misses Hannibal and wants to reunite with him?
You can ask the question, why does he go, which is very valid. Why does he go in the first place? But more importantly, once he realizes I have to talk to Hannibal, like, do you really have to talk to Hannibal? Can you just solve this thing on your own? Like, that's a bit where, like, that's where I feel like he wants to see Hannibal.
Well, he said that there's a mindset that I have to recover. He goes, we can wait until I'm almost out of time and I'm freaking out, or we can just do it now.
That's a good point.
Because, I mean, he was good at what he did already, but he was really good when Hannibal was by his side. Although, how good was he? Because he didn't really... He was... No. I mean, they were Hannibal's crimes. You need to give that boy some encephalitis. Is that what it was? Yes.
Okay.
Fixed everything. Some weird clocks. Draw some weird clocks.
Draw some time, spatial time. I don't know what it is. Anyway, what else you got there in the pad?
I don't know. That was it.
That's good.
I mean... It felt good to hear him say, "This is my design" again.
Yes, this is my design. I love that. And also, we also at the very end of the episode got the iconic sort of "Hello, Will. Hello, Hannibal." Like "Hello, Clarice.
Would you like a glass of wine? I have a nice cellar here."
Yeah. Exactly. Perhaps some truffles and some weird blood
some blood
chocolate dessert served in a grapefruit. What was that thing?
I mean, does he have a kitchen back there? What's going on?
A full kitchen.
And you know how expensive his ingredients are.
Yeah. I don't know. He seems to have everything he needs to have a wonderful life as Dr. Lecter.
I would have turned myself in too.
So if I see a harpsichord in that cell next week, hello, Will. I was expecting you. Bling, 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 bling. Anyway, I got.
Well, I think that they did a great job of setting up this new world that we're entering. This new serial killer who's very upsetting. And Hannibal's sort of, it's just cool to see him pulling the strings even behind glass bars.
Right.
Not bars, but you know what I mean.
I'll take it. Okay, well, cool, man. That's I mean, that's only a taut 30 minutes, but I don't know. We had visuals, man.
It was a very visual episode.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm missing anything significant other than just it feels to be one big setup. How did you feel about this as a bridge from where we've been this whole time into what's to come? I mean, I feel like it's a very good setup, like in terms of where we were, 3 years time jump, setting us up for what's to come. And the better question is, does this mean we're going to get back to the same old sort of like the gang's all back together at the lab, cooking, doing stuff together, we're out there solving crimes?
Well, we only have one murderer.
Yeah.
We don't have multiple crazy, weird, artistic murders to solve. We don't have like people with beehives in them and mushrooms growing out of them.
No.
We got one guy doing one thing.
Really creepy things.
And he does it exactly the same time, or the same way each time. Well, 2 out of 2 times at least. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel good about the way they set this up because I feel content with where we left the characters 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that.
I do too.
And I feel satisfied with where we find them now, 3 years in the future.
And Bedelia, she's in Europe somewhere?
She's gone. She's doing something.
And Chio?
Shooting up, and I hate Chio. I don't care what Chio is.
Why? You hate her so much.
I hate Chio.
What's wrong with Chio?
What's the point of Chio? Except to be like, oh, well, when I'm in danger, there's a hot Asian girl ready to
she's
shoot
hot.
people for
She's
me.
got a silencer. She's got a rifle. What more do you need to know?
She's like the Darkwing Duck of Hannibal.
That's a nice reference. Darkwing Duck. Oh my goodness. All right, Jules.
Thank God for Chio. Just happens to be there.
Okay, we have to go to predictions. I don't know. It's time. Predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I mean, this is hard to do because we kind of know how this goes. So the question is, maybe it's the how. We know the what's going to happen, but the how it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think. I mean, Freddie's coming back. Freddie Lowndes. Mm-hmm. She's on her way back.
Yes.
The whole fiery wheelchair thing already happened, so that's not going to happen again because that was a Red Dragon thing.
That's a Red Dragon thing.
But they already alluded to her. I forget who. The coroner, I think.
Yes. Well,
talked about a crazy redhead. And so she's going to reemerge because now we're dealing with a lot of media stuff.
Well, that's what the headline was. That was the title crime headline.
Yeah.
The Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh, of course.
Okay, there.
So I mean, we have Chilton wanting to make headlines and wanting to write this new book. We have Freddie, who I'm sure is going to show up again and wanting to infiltrate and get the scoop. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's hard because I know the story. Keeping you up?
No, sorry. No, but what we do know is my prediction is we know in Red Dragon that there's I don't know spoilers. I can't say anything.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go read the book and then we can talk.
Yeah,
about
we
it.
can't really spoil. It'll be interesting to see how Bryan Fuller handles this.
Yes.
I'll say that much.
I am very excited to see. We've seen him take so much creative license and go his own way in such a beautiful way. So I'm looking forward how he's going to retell this story to us in a way that has not been told before.
Check. Are we going to get an appearance from my girl,
Oh, yes. Well, Dollarhide has it's in the book.
I know. Okay. All right, never mind. All right, well,
yes,
that's it.
she's coming.
Okay, good. I hope so.
She's coming.
You like my it's my universal symbol for blindness.
She has to come. She's such a huge part of this story.
Okay.
And she's such a huge part of who the character of Francis Dollarhide is and who he becomes in his struggles. So she's coming with a vengeance.
All right. That'll do it for us for this week's Hannibal After Show. And we will be back for the beginning, the continuation of Red Dragon.
Yep.
Hopefully with a full panel next week. And in the meantime, I'm Joe Braswell. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Periscope at Joe K. Braswell. And Julia, where can the kids find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley, JuliaCearley, and also right here with you for True Detective.
Lovely. That's right.
A couple more episodes left of that.
Thank you so much, Hannibals. We will see you next week.
All
right. Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.